Alright, hello! Welcome to the final video in this prediction series. I know these last few have come out pretty rapidly, but PTR will be up in a few hours. Not today, like not when I'm recording this. I'm recording this Monday night. But today is in the day you're watching this, Tuesday. You're watching it. If you're watching it when it comes out. Yeah, it will be PTR will be up, which means Raid Journal will be up, and we'll be able to see the mechanics on the thing. And then testing starts Friday. Expect another video either later today, Tuesday, or sometime Wednesday. It just depends when the PTR comes up and when testing of the new dungeon will be available, which it's supposed to be today, Tuesday. So if that happens and everything's working properly and nothing's delayed, then expect that later today. Otherwise, Wednesday. And yeah. And then Friday will be the first of the raid test videos where I'll do what I did last time and I'll kind of just go over my thoughts and sort of review the video from the testing that happened. But yeah, let's get into it. Going into the last boss, Chrome King Gallywix, which will not be testable, but but we'll still be able to see what's in the raid guide, raid journal. But it's still fun to theorize. All right, Chrome King Gallywix. The description is, having taken a strategic retreat, Jaster Gallywix holed up in the halls of the Galatio. Whatever Gallywix has been working on is guaranteed to be powerful, deadly, and capable of crushing any who oppose him. Which we see is this mech that has a cigar and some cannons. So looking around the room, in the video thing, there were some like purple things that prevent you from leaving the area. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but there are 4 beams, and there's 4 pointing up and 4 pointing down around the room. Probably fires at us, and we have to avoid them. I imagine it fires at like around the edge of the room, or like picks kind of like a player, or maybe where all the player or like the most amount of people are grouped up, and starts firing and just chases you around the room, leaving puddles around, creating areas of denial. I feel like that's gonna be a part of it. Gallywix also has cannons, so I'm thinking we're gonna have swirlies around the room to dodge when he fires, but each phase is going to have something different. So like P1's probably gonna be a barrage of bullets at a swirly location, so it'll be like up in the air and it'll kind of like land on these swirlies around the room. And we gotta dodge that. P2 will be something like a cannonball that we have to soak. There'll be 4 soaks around the room, so we gotta split into 4 groups of like 3 or more. And then P3 would be a laser that fixates on a player, and they gotta run away. And in addition, we have like the side lasers as well. Additionally, though, those side lasers could be for Gallywix to get different abilities. So maybe it's designed to sort of change. Maybe he goes stands and some lasers, or the lasers fire at him and they give his mech like new abilities each phase, which would be kind of cool. I don't really know what that would do. I mean, maybe an element maybe gets charged with like fire or lightning. Probably void magic at some point. He's probably going to be like void empowered. Um, but just back to the mech for a second. There's also a cigar, which is pretty prominent. So I feel like that's going to be like a flame frontal, or a smoke frontal or something. Like it'll be a frontal that we'll either have to avoid or a tank will get hit by. I'm thinking phase 4 is going to be like we damage the mech so badly that he hops out during phase 4, but like he's void empowered because clearly like I think Zalatath will give him a bargain, and like he'll get empowered by Void maybe, and so maybe he's using that on us. Although I mean that's kind of like what happened with Queen Ansrex, so I don't know that that's necessarily what it is. Maybe the mech that he's made maybe maybe Zalatath gave him the plans and there's something special about it. That's supercharged. But yeah, those cannons are definitely, giving us something different each phase, I think. And that's gonna be the big thing to avoid. I don't know what the tank I don't know what the tank thing's gonna be on that. I can't see them doing a frontal again if they do it on Muggsy. Or like to get hit by. So it's gonna probably be something though where you're gonna have to take a lot. I'm just thinking of Queen Ansarek and how hard they made that, where like we have Liquefy and Feast. So like it's gonna have to be something like that. Maybe a tank has to go stand the beam from the big beam thing and intercept it so that Gallywix doesn't get like an extra charge. Like maybe doesn't get charged up, so tank has to go stand there, but in doing so, tank becomes vulnerable to damage or something. Or maybe the tank gets powered up. You go stand there and get powered up. Think of like Uzmat, where like your tank hit, you took some damage, but like then you became immune to damage. So every time you took it, like you got more stacks and you took less and less damage until you were like 9 stacks. You're like a god and nothing can hurt you. And then you get a 10th stack and you die. You can't get that many. I think that would be kind of fun with that. You stand in the way of the beam, and eventually Gallywix has to take one, but you take a bunch of stacks, and then you kind of become like a god, and you like do all this damage, and like this is where your tank damage is coming from. Is from that. Or there's like a shield. So think of this. Okay, this is an idea. So we have like after the phase 1, we have like an intermission, and during after each phase we have an intermission where he has a shield. Um, a shield kind of goes up, and he's like pairing the mech, and from the inside, and then we gotta go. One of the tanks gotta go stand in the beam, and then go and get like a bunch of stacks, and then like you're able to use that to go hit him and do a bunch of damage. Maybe everyone has to go stand in the beam, in the way of the beam, or you have groups. So intermission 1, you have a group go, and then you do all that damage during there, and like you're able to damage him with that power. And then intermission 2, that group isn't able to go stand there anymore. They're debuffs, and if they stand in it again, they'll die. So the second group's got to go and stand in the beam, get powered up, and it just kind of keeps doing that. So, but you gotta like only send so many people because you're gonna get in trouble if like if for this. Well, it'd only be 2 intermissions, right? Because you have the third one, phase 3, and then you probably break the thing. Yeah, so it would only be like 2 groups. You'd split the raid in half. That would make sense. Half go intermission 1, half go intermission 2. There is no intermission 3 because at the end of P3 you break the mech, and then P4 is fighting Gallywix directly. That would make sense. So I feel like that would actually be a pretty wicked intermission phase. You just get all the power. I'd love that. I feel like I'm kind of cooking on this, but I actually don't really have much else. I've already gone past my notes. This is just kind of on the fly coming up with stuff. Yeah, I don't actually really know. I think that's a cool intermission. I like that idea with the lasers. I hope maybe that's a thing that happens because that would be fun. But yeah, otherwise that's kind of it. Yeah. Thank you for joining me on these videos, and yeah, there'll be more to come throughout the week. Now that PTR is coming up this week, there should be lots more in the way of videos as I'm able to do them. I also still have a lot of prep to do for like my raid team and everything, so yeah, lots to do, lots of things going on, a lot of testing to happen. I want to go play with Drive. If that's available. Hopefully that will be available in the PTR to test. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but definitely Operation Floodgate video. Look forward to that coming out next, and then all my raid testing, sort of going over raid testing and raid testing thoughts videos will be coming out over the next few weeks as well. Maybe mythic testing, I don't know. That really depends on if I'm able to get into a group or form one. There is one day that's going to be 4 bosses. That's raid testing this time around is going to be like way more intense than it was last time, I feel like. And last time I got pretty exhausted pretty fast. So it's a thing. But yeah. Alright. Anyways, look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye.